now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates. You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates.
Let's switch to suspense. Let's switch to suspense.
You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates. Crime Updates. You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates.
Search continues for the person or persons wanted in a string of 6 connected serial killings. Right now, Stockton leaders are set to address the community's concerns in a town hall meeting.
Yeah, it is starting as we speak on the east side of the city tonight.
And that is where we find ABC 10's Kurt Rivera live with more details. Kurt.
Laura, I'm outside the Victory and Praise Church here in Stockton on East Harding Way next to Waterloo Road, and that town hall meeting just got underway a few minutes ago. But this has been in the planning stages for several weeks now, long before the serial killings became known. But now for many, safety has become a top priority. As the city of Stockton remains gripped in fear over deaths connected to a killer or killers, Stockton Police Chief Stan McFadden wants everyone to remain vigilant.
You know, all the time we say you'll be aware of your surroundings. All the time we say if you're going to be alone at dark, be with someone else. All the time we say try to be in lighted conditions.
This is surveillance video believed to be a person of interest in the case. Here, she has been seen at multiple homicide locations. Tonight's town hall meeting was triggered by the surge in deadly gun violence in Stockton this year. Now it has new meaning with a potential serial killer on the loose.
Am I surprised? No. That there is illness, there's mental illness, that there is spiritual unrest, that we've just suffered a pandemic and hasn't had time to grieve.
Community activist Tony McNeil says the city is dealing with, quote, the root and the spirit of lawlessness and rebellion. She says we need to figure out, quote, where the cracks are and where the darkness is at in our systems.
We also need to really lean into what are some things that we need to do holistically as a community in order to be safe. From a spiritual aspect on the clergy side, our faith leaders, and from a practical lens, and how do we marry those two together in order to have a holistic safe practice in our city?
And the town hall runs from 6 to 7:30 tonight. Chief McFadden is here as well as Mayor Kevin Lincoln, and the public is invited to attend. We're live on the east side of Stockton. Back to you.
And Kurt, we should note coming up tonight at 6:30 on To the Point with Alex Bell, we're going to be speaking one-on-one with city leaders about their concerns. Thank you, sir.
You're lucky I was here.
As the search continues for the person or persons wanted in a string of 6 connected serial killings. Right now, Stockton leaders are set to address the community's concerns in a town hall meeting.
Yeah, it is starting as we speak on the east side of the city tonight.
And that is where we find ABC 10's Kurt Rivera live with more details. Kurt.
Laura, I'm outside the Victory and Praise Church here in Stockton on East Harding Way next to Waterloo Road, and that town hall meeting just got underway a few minutes ago. But this has been in the planning stages for several weeks now, long before the serial killings became known. But now for many, safety has become a top priority. As the city of Stockton remains gripped in fear over deaths connected to a killer or killers, Stockton Police Chief Stan McFadden wants everyone to remain vigilant.
You know, all the time we say you'll be aware of your surroundings. All the time we say if you're going to be alone at dark, be with someone else. All the time we say try to be in lighted conditions.
This is surveillance video believed to be a person of interest in the case. He or she has been seen at multiple homicide locations. Tonight's town hall meeting was triggered by the surge in deadly gun violence in Stockton this year. Now it has new meaning with a potential serial killer on the loose.
Am I surprised? No. That there is illness, there's mental illness, that there is spiritual unrest, that we've just suffered a pandemic and hasn't had time to grieve.
Community activist Tony McNeil says the city is dealing with, quote, the root and the spirit of lawlessness and rebellion. She says we need to figure out, quote, where the cracks are and where the darkness is at in our systems.
We also need to really lean into what are some things that we need to do holistically as a community in order to be safe. From a spiritual aspect on the clergy side, our faith leaders, and from a practical lens, and how do we marry those two together in order to have a holistic safe practice in our city?
And the town hall runs from 6 to 7:30 tonight. Chief McFadden is here as well as Mayor Kevin Lincoln, and the public is invited to attend. We're live on the east side of Stockton. Back to you.
And Kurt, we should know coming up tonight at 6:30 on To the Point with Alex Bell. We're going to be speaking one-on-one with city leaders about their concerns. Thank you, sir.
Are you skeptical of headlines and we'll be ready to go here. You know what? I might loop that one more time. And what you see on social media,
You're lucky I was here.
Maybe in my guardian angel.
Definitely. There's too much devil in me for that.
Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy stars in Shen.
When ABC 10 asked what more you wanted from local news, well, the answer was very clear. More time spent on the issues that matter to you. So we created a completely new kind of show, To the Point with me, Alex Bell, spends more time on stories about our community.
As the search continues for the person or persons wanted in a string of 6 connected serial killings, right now, Stockton leaders are set to address the community's concerns in a town hall meeting.
Yeah, it is starting as we speak on the east side of the city tonight.
And that is where we find ABC 10's Kurt Rivera live with more details. Kurt.
Laura, I'm outside the Victory and Praise Church here in Stockton on East Harding Way next to Waterloo Road, and that town hall meeting just got underway a few minutes ago. But this has been in the planning stages for several weeks now, long before the serial killings became known. But now for many, safety has become a top priority.
As the city of Stockton ripped in fear over deaths connected to a killer or killers, Stockton Police Chief Stan McFadden wants everyone to remain vigilant.
You know, all the time we say you'll be aware of your surroundings. All the time we say if you're going to be alone at dark, be with someone else. All the time we say try to be in lighted conditions.
This is surveillance video believed to be a person of interest in the case. He or she has been seen at multiple homicide locations. Tonight's town hall meeting was triggered by the surge in deadly gun violence in Stockton this year. Now it has new meaning with a potential serial killer on the loose.
Am I surprised? No. That there is illness, there's mental illness, that there is spiritual unrest, that we've just suffered a pandemic and hasn't had time to grieve.
Community activist Tony McNeil says the city is dealing with, quote, the root and the spirit of lawlessness and rebellion. She says we need to figure out, quote, where the cracks are and where the darkness is at in our systems.
We also need to really lean into what are some things that we need to do holistically as a community in order to be safe. From a spiritual aspect on the clergy side, our faith leaders, and from a practical lens, and how do we marry those two together in order to have a holistic safe practice in our city?
And the town hall runs from 6 to 7:30 tonight. Chief McFadden is here, as well as Mayor Kevin Lincoln, and the public is invited to attend. We're live on the east side of Stockton. Back to you.
And Kurt, we should note coming up tonight at 6:30 on To the Point with Alex Bell, we're going to be speaking one-on-one with city leaders about their concerns. Thank you, sir.
Okay, just a couple more minutes and we should be ready to go.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit NHTSA.gov/seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
Marshal Service, California Highway Patrol, and the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department. Their assistance has been invaluable. A big thank you also must go out to the Stockton community for their help in getting us to this point. Stockton remains Stockton strong. At this time, you will hear from Chief McFadden, followed by Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln, and then San Joaquin County District Attorney Tori Verber Salazar. Chief.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Chief Stanley McFadden. I thank you all for being here today. It's just very important for you all to be here. Before I go into details about their arrest, I want to thank the men and women of the Stockton Police Department and our law enforcement partners who have been involved with this investigation. It's a large group of law enforcement experts that really helped us to toe the line. It's the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office, the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Bureau of Investigations, it's the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, it's the San Joaquin County Probation Department, Lodi Police Department, Manteca Police Department, Lathrop Police Department, Tracy Police Department, Oakland Police Department, California Highway Patrol, California Department of Justice, California Department of Corrections, Chicago, Illinois Police Department, Federal Bureau of Investigation, ATF, and United States Marshals. I also want to thank our law enforcement families for supporting their loved ones who were dedicated and spent many hours away from home to investigate these homicides. To our task force team, all of you have worked tirelessly around the clock to make the arrest happen. Your effort was second to none, and I could not be any prouder of each of you than I am right now. To our detectives, my evidence technicians, my task force officers, my dispatchers, records personnel, and the district attorney's office, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Our work is not done though, as this is still a very active investigation. Now for the arrest details. Please remember, I can only provide limited information for the integrity of the investigation. Just because an arrest was made does not mean the investigation stops. We now have to have a successful prosecution for our victims and their families. For the last 2 days, I have met with our victims, their families. I can't go into our conversations, but our talks were very emotional. They want us to bring this person to justice. I'm honored to tell them and all of you that we have an all-star team of district attorneys and lead detectives who will bring justice for the families. The arrest happened in 2 parts. One was community tips, and the second was good old-fashioned police work. Based on tips coming to the department's Stockton Crime Stoppers, were we able to zero in on a possible suspect. Our surveillance team followed this person while he was driving. We watched his patterns and determined early this morning he was on a mission to kill. He was out hunting. He was stopped by our own team in the area of Village Green Drive and Winslow Avenue around 2 a.m. this morning. As officers made contact with him, he was wearing dark clothing and had a mask around his neck. He was also armed with a firearm when he was taken into custody. We are sure we stopped another killing. Arrested was Wesley Brownlee, 43, for homicide. The San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office will be reviewing this investigation and will file the appropriate charges. I want all you to know how seriously I take these types of investigations. This morning, when SWAT team was ordered to go out and conduct a search warrant at Mr. Wesley's residence, I went with them. Now, I would also like to thank each of you here, the media. Thank you. The news coverage, thank you for the social media stories, and thank you for keeping the victims' memories alive during your coverage. You and our community also played a part in this. We still need more tips to come in. If anyone has information about Wesley and this investigation, please get those to our investigators. At this time, I would like to bring up our own Mayor, Kevin Lincoln.
Oh my God, the best news ever.
For your leadership, for assembling the multi-agency task force, district attorney's office, all those who were involved to help get this community to where we're at today. We stood here just a couple of weeks ago and we made it clear to the public that these senseless acts of violence would not be tolerated. And that even though there wasn't any way we could say that will bring back the lost loved ones, the least that we could do is do our part to help bring justice. And here we are today. As Chief said, there's a road ahead of us. We still have work to be done. But to the community, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for exercising your voice. Thank you for submitting the hundreds of tips that have come in on a daily basis. This could not have been done, and today would not be made possible without you. But I want to make a special thank you to our brave men and women who are protected and have sworn to protect and serve this community. Your countless and tireless commitment and service to our community is one of the main reasons why we're here today. This community, this city, this Stockton Police Department is committed and dedicated to the people of this city. And public service, public safety still remains our #1 priority. And I want to make this very, very clear to the people of Stockton, California, the United States, and around the world, that when the people of our city of Stockton, California come together and we unite, we can get things done. Stockton will be a place where people can live, raise a family, and grow a business. This is a beautiful city. This is a city that each and every one of us call home. And we will not tolerate any acts of senseless violence. Those will be held accountable, and we will use every resource at our disposal to make sure the people of our city are protected and feel safe, and that no parent has to worry about taking their kids to a park, that nobody would have to worry about looking over their shoulder when they go to the grocery store, and that our unhoused population here in the city of Stockton will be able to rest a little bit easier tonight as we take the next steps towards getting them help in healing in their life. So to the people in blue, to our men and women who serve this community, thank you. To the residents of Stockton, thank you. To the media, thank you. God bless you, and God bless Stockton.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here. Before I begin the statement on behalf of the Office of the District Attorney, I'd like all of us to take a moment of silence for these victims. If you would join me. You know, the other day we saw an article in the paper that talked about serial killers in San Joaquin County. Some were not ours. They simply died at CDCR's facility in Stockton. But the few that were ours, they wanted to emphasize that they had come to our community. But what they missed was that they all had been arrested, successfully prosecuted, and removed from the street. And that's what happened here. So we want to thank our partners in law enforcement, Stockton Police Department, Chief McFadden, thank you, Catherine Nance, Sager, all of them who have worked, their detectives, officers on the street, who have worked so hard and dedicated themselves to ensuring the arrest and apprehension of this suspect. We've worked with fellow local, state, and federal agencies who assisted in the capture of this suspect, Wesley Brownlee. I want to thank District Attorney Ron Freitas-elect, Chief James Boyko from the Bureau of Investigations, and a marvelous team from my office, supervising Deputy District Attorney Caitlin Casey, Deputy District Attorneys Janet Smith and Elton Grau, for their hard work and dedication, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on this case and all the other cases that they handle. They're the most ethical, professional, hardworking people you could have the privilege of working with. The City of Stockton, all of their resources were made available during the course of this investigation. So thank you, City Manager. We appreciate that. ATF and our business community, our spiritual community. I couldn't go 5 feet in this community where people weren't saying prayers that we find this individual, and prayers for the survivors and families that have been so terribly harmed by these crimes. I want to thank all of them, also those who contributed to the reward amount. In conjunction with Stockton Police Department, the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office is committed to ensuring the safety of our community. My administration has been working around the clock to providing any necessary resources that the Stockton Police Department would need during the course of this investigation into these tragic killings. My deputy district attorneys, who have been here all night, are reviewing the evidence as we speak, and they're working actively in partnership with the investigation to determine the charges that we'll proceed on. The defendant, because I'm no longer ever going to say his name again, because he doesn't deserve to have a name. He doesn't deserve to be out there. So the defendant is what we're going to call him from now on. The defendant will have charges, will be arraigned in court on Tuesday afternoon at 1:30. At that point, after the arraignment, we'll have a press conference announcing the charges and discussing those charges further with you. This is a very fluid and ongoing investigation. So we will most likely be adding charges, but at this time, we have to bring them before a magistrate within 48 hours. That clock's running now, so we have till Tuesday to bring them in. We'll arraign them at that time, and then we'll proceed to continue to assist with the investigation and also assist in healing our community. Our Family Justice Center, our doors are open, our victim witness services are available, and we're here to help. This crime was solved because we're Stocktonians, because you don't come to our house and bring this kind of reign of terror and not mobilize 350,000 people, 780,000 in this whole entire county, mobilized, and captured this individual whose reign of terror is no longer. So I want to thank San Joaquin County, and particularly the City of Stockton, community members, activists, people in our faith-based community, businesses, our law enforcement, our prosecution, and now we'll be rolling into the court. Thank them all for this opportunity to really bring home justice for these victims. At this time, I believe we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah. We'll take a few questions and we'll do our best to respond to the extent that we can respond. Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it, please.
I too would like to thank all of our law enforcement partners, especially the brave men and women of the Stockton Police Department and the Deputy District Attorneys assigned to this case from the very beginning. Supervising Deputy District Attorney Caitlin Casey, Deputy District Attorney Elton Grau, and Deputy District Attorney Janet Smith. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. And the suspect's reign of terror in our community has come to an end. As the incoming District Attorney, I look forward to prosecuting him to the fullest extent of the law. Thank you.
I know you didn't want to say his name, but for us to get it right, could you please say and spell the suspect's name for us? And where is he from?
And does he have a prior criminal record?
Name is Wesley Brownlee. That'd be W-E-S-L-E-Y. Brownlee, B-R-O-W-N-L-E-E, is 43 years old and currently resides in Stockton.
Chief, you mentioned he was hunting. Are those words that came from the suspect?
No, those are not. Those are us watching his patterns and behavior.
Can you speak to the value of the new Facebook group that it has been working and mobilizing and been called a trailblazing effort to contribute to this investigation, and also how you see them playing a role in continuing to secure additional tips and help to bring healing to the community.
I know my PIO, Joseph Silva, has partnered with them and has stayed in communications as far as information that's been going back and forth. But we're absolutely willing to have people, you know, it takes us all to solve these types of cases, and we're very happy to see a group of folks willing to come together and put a lot of time into it as well.
Chief, to the extent you can, could you walk us through the investigative steps that led the investigators this morning to this guy's car, and how, you know, what evidence we have to know that this is our guy?
Well, I can tell you we have information that had got us to his place of residence, and at that point we maintained eyes on that residence until he became mobile. Once he became mobile is when we started to continue following him until we eventually took him off, when we identified that he's posing a threat.
Do we know if this person suffers from any psychological condition?
That I do not know at all.
Does the police department have run-ins with him in the past?
I know he does have a criminal history. I'm not sure to what extent or with what agencies.
Can you speak to any possible motive?
That I don't know.
The firearm he used, is that firearm stolen? Does it belong to him?
That we don't know. Absolutely, it's a critical piece of evidence that will be processed.
Is he a long-term resident of Stockton, or has he been back and forth between Oakland?
I believe he has lived in different cities in addition to Stockton.
You know how long he's lived here for kind of a continuous time?
No, I don't.
Are you able to tell us any connection, whether his residence or otherwise, to the neighborhood in Stockton where a lot of these killings took place, in, you know, near I-5 and the Calaveras?
That I don't know specifically. I do know where he lived wasn't too far from one of our homicides.
Can you say which one?
He lives, yeah.
Are you able to speak to his mode of transportation? A lot of theories have been speculated as to railroad, vehicle, but obviously, can you speak to any of those details?
Well, all we know is he was mobile in a vehicle, and that's all we know. We know part of his pattern in praying is at some point to get on foot.
Can you describe the vehicle at all?
No, we're not going to do it.
Chief, you said that you followed him until you were identifying that he was posing a threat. What exactly, you know, was that? What was he doing that made you think he was on the hunt on this mission?
Just his pattern were consistent with some of the patterns that we had seen were, you know, around parks, around dark places, stopping, looking around, moving again. And at that point, we thought for the safety of the public, it was best to take this person off.
All right, thank you guys. That concludes our press conference today. Thank you.
Thank you.
These images on the wall will also be on our Facebook page following the press conference.
Joe, I missed where they picked him up. Was it Winslow and something?
Winslow and Military Drive.
They're showing his face back there, but they didn't show it during the press conference. Let's see if we can get a look.
I don't know if that's on there.
Everybody piggybacked. It looks like a nature documentary.
There we go.
Another microphone carrying baby microphones.
Sick shit. Social media should be very proud, as well as media. But you know what? They've done a phenomenal job. So there's Here we go.
Pretty piggybacked. It looks like a nature documentary.
So guys, that is what we've got. I'll take a quick peek here and see if anything else has kind of come out. But they got him. Great job. I'm just taking a peek here. Actually, I think what I'll do is we'll look at this. So let's take a look at this. So let's see, we go back to April 16th, 2021, when the woman was shot who survived. She, if I remember correctly, she rushed this guy and he just kept shooting her. Good job, lady. Without her help. So September 21st, Juan Cruz. August 11th, Salvador de Budley Jr. July 8th, Paul Yaw. September 27th, Lawrence Lopez Sr. August 30th, Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez. So yeah, looks like he hunted in his area. He didn't stray too far, did he? So now I'm wondering if we will find out anything more about, let's see here, find out anything more as far as that Chicago. See if there's any, what were they calling them? The duck walk, I think. So 6 total shootings in Stockton have been linked to these series of killings. The 5 Stockton shootings from this year took place in the following locations. July 8th, 5600 block of Kermit Lane near Elaine and East Robin Hood Drives about 12:30. August 11th, 4900 block of West Lane near Bianche Road around 9:39 p.m. August 30th, 800 block of East Hammer Lane near Shamrock and Tam O'Shanter's Drive around 6:40 a.m. September 21st, the 4400 block of Manchester Avenue near Rosemary Lane around 4:30 a.m. And September 27th, 900 block of Porter Avenue near Gettysburg Place around 1:51 a.m. So anything from like 9:39 p.m. until I think the latest or the latest 6:40 a.m. 2 shootings April 2021 have been linked to him as well. So 6 days later, April 16th, 2021, another one at 3:20. So this is the one that she survived. So let's take a look here. I'll take a quick peek and see what else we can find, if anything. Yeah, dead eyes, right? Couldn't agree more, Connor. Sick shit. I was going to comment the same thing. At James, I agree on the eyes. Yeah. And James, they can't fry the Parkland. Right? It's capital punishment still on the table. I agree with you. Shocking decision. Mexi, they literally caught this dude at 2 a.m. in his vehicle with a mask on. This dude was on the hunt, so we know this guy drove to all those murders, parked a car somewhere, and then stalked. Right? I agree 1000%. They definitely, in my opinion, saved somebody last night. And I'm going to be interested to find out what kind of history he has and see if there's more of these type of things going on. that they've missed or able to put to him. Sorry, a little distracted. My dogs are doing their thing. I think let's look at this, guys. Yeah, he was hunting. Damn. Sorry about the dogs, guys. They're a little pampered. Let's take a look at this.
Police mentioning those 5 homicides all connected, and earlier today they announced that those homicides meet the definition of a serial killer being involved. It's still unclear whether there's one suspect or several suspects. Stockton Police providing us with this map, which we'll show you on screen here, and that is where each of these involved homicides took place. Now, unfortunately, homicides in Stockton tend to take place overnight and in the early morning hours, so we asked Stockton Police Chief why these homicides are different and why they're connected. He said it's for several reasons. First of all, the victims were alone at the time they were killed, and they were ambushed. These were completely random attacks. They were not drug or gang related. That's just some of the reasons why these 5 homicides are connected and why they believe there is a serial killer involved. Stockton Police Chief warning neighbors, of course, tonight to be careful, to remain vigilant. Here's the chief now.
Here's what I can say is that we have a series of homicides that we believe are interconnected. The problem we have, if we have no evidence to tell us that it's one person, 2 or 3, we just don't know that. We don't have that information. We have no video footage that has even captured a crime, that has even captured a handgun in someone's hand.
No video footage of a crime, but we did see a still picture of a likely suspect, or at least a person of interest, though the picture was very tough to make out. The person was covered head to toe in black. It was unclear if that person was a male or a female, but again, there is a person of interest at large right now. Again, these homicides, all 5 of them connected and likely the work of a serial killer. Now, there is a tip line for anyone who has any information. The Stockton Police Department is asking that you come forward.
And Laura, we had the opportunity to see that picture you're talking about as you were leading up to the chief's comments. And as you described it, you're right. No description at all. You can't really make out any identifiable features. Did the police chief talk at all about the context of that photo, or did they just hand it out?
The police chief was asked if that photo came from a public camera or came from a local business and where the photo was taken. The chief did not have answers for us. And like you said, he couldn't even let us know if that person was a male or a female. You can see in that picture, it's hard to tell.
There we go. Wow. I didn't see a picture of him. I'm kind of looking in the backgrounds to see if I can find something, but I'm not finding the picture that they're talking about handing out last night. Well, you know what? Thank God. They got him off the street, and whoa, they did that very quickly. They did a phenomenal job. Almost sounds like between social media, law enforcement, and I'm sure regular media put in a good percentage of the effort to finding this guy and getting him off the street. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. Too many times we've seen these things not get solved because of the randomness. And yeah, just an amazing job. So guys, I think that that'll be it for now. Let's see here. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to jump off. Thanks for joining me. If I see another update of any kind on this case, I will absolutely try and get it out to you. So for now, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thanks for all your help. Mexi Texi, you're a doll. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.